What is going on, Panda Game Man? Today in this video, we're going to talk about how to set up the Cronus Zen for your PlayStation 5, your Xbox, and your PC, and how to get the best scripts, update the Zen, all that good stuff. So let's go and get started. The first thing you want to do is once you get the Zen out the box, is go ahead and open up your laptop or your PC. Yes, you'll need a laptop or a PC to update the Zen and download the scripts, all right? So once you've opened it up, you want to make sure you're using the Chrome browser, okay? If you guys don't already have that, download Chrome, but once you do, just type in the search bar Cronus Zen download, all right? Literally type this whole thing in. As soon as you do, you want to click on the first link that pops up, all right? Just go ahead and right click on it. Once we're here, you're going to click on the download section, and we're going to need to download the Zen Studios first, right? So you can see the Zen Studios right here. Right now it's build 82. Just download the latest one whenever you're watching this video, all right? So I'm going to right click on this, and look, as soon as you right click on it, if you're using the Chrome browser, it will literally go into your right side just like you guys see on my screen, all right? That's why I'm telling you to use the Chrome browser, okay? So once you see it here, what I like to do is drag it out to my desktop. So this is going to be my desktop. And to do that, you want to click on the file icon on the bottom. You guys can see this little file thing. Right click on this. You're going to go into your download section. And you see how it says Zen Studios? Once it does, literally just right click and put it in your desktop, okay? Once that step is done, you're going to go ahead and run this software. So you're going to right click on it, go ahead and let it do its thing. You're going to hit next, I agree, and go ahead and hit install, all right? This is how you download the Zen Studios onto your laptop or your PC, all right? Once that's done, you're going to hit finish, and you're going to notice two new applications. One's going to be called the Zen Studios, the other the Zen Link Configurator. Again, you don't need the Zen Link Configurator, so don't worry about that. What I want you to do next is go ahead and open up the Zen Studios, okay? And now we're going to go ahead and get ourselves familiar with the Cronus Zen and where you plug it in to update it first, and then how do you add scripts, all right? So once the Zen Studios opens up, you're going to see this message pop up, all right? All you want to do once this message pops up on your screen is go ahead and hit Open Update Tool, okay? So just go ahead and hit Open Online Update Tool. And again, this tool right here, you guys can bring up from the Cronus Zen downloads page. So if you just go into your Chrome browser again, if you scroll down, it's also right here. You can see the Cronus Zen web update tool. You can click on this. Again, I have it open twice, so it's going to close one of them. But that's two ways you can bring up this, all right? This is how you go ahead and update the firmware of your Zen first, all right? Now, when you guys are updating the firmware, you have to plug the Zen in at the top right here, okay? Now, again, you're going to get a bunch of cables with the Zen. So I'm going to show you what most of the cables are going to look like. One end is going to be normal USB, just like this one. You guys can see it on my face right here. And then the next end is going to be the USB-C end. Again, I have a newer Zen. That's what you're going to get, a USB-C end. So when you are playing and you are updating the Cronus Zen for the first time, all you have to do is simply plug the Zen in at the top like this, and then the other end of this cable into your laptop or your PC. You can see, make sure it's only plugged in at the top when you guys are updating the Zen, okay? So again, I'm going to get rid of this cable because I have a longer one already plugged in. So I'm going to go and grab my longer one. You guys can see. And again, I always like using the ones with these little black things on it. They seem to work the best, all right? So again, I'm going to plug it in, all right? You guys can see, right? Once it's plugged in, you can't just hit connect, all right? What you have to do next is flip it over, and there's a little blue button on the back. You guys can see it right here. You're going to have to hold this down to 3 to 5 seconds until on this Zen screen, it's going to say Zen Bootloader, okay? So here's what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and hold this thing down on the back, this little blue button, for 3 to 5 seconds, okay? So let me go ahead and hold it down. There you go. You guys can see it's going to say Zen Bootloader. And again, for me, it just pops up with my Zen and all that stuff. For you guys, it's not going to do that, right? I'm going to hit disconnect. For you, once you have it plugged in, you guys can see only at the top. Make sure it says Zen Bootloader on here, right? You're going to go ahead and hit this connect button, all right? Once you do, you're going to hit the Cronus Zen paired, hit connect, and hit the latest firmware to update, all right? This is how you go ahead and update your Zen. It's literally that simple, all right? It should take you less than 3 minutes. It took me longer because I'm showing you guys where everything gets plugged in, right? Again, for you guys, when you're watching, it's going to be instant. But once it's done updating, I'll show you guys how to download scripts onto your Zen. And then we'll talk about the specifics of setting it up for our PlayStation 5, our Xbox, and our PC, okay? So there you go. This firmware update is done. And now you can go ahead and unplug this cable from the top of the Zen, all right? Next step is going to be to download scripts, all right? And I will leave you guys a way to download these scripts for free. So all you have to do for that is go on our YouTube channel. Literally bring up YouTube, okay? And type in on the search bar, Lethal Panda. Once you guys see our channel, just literally click on this video that you're watching right now. And you're going to want to go in this thing called the description, okay? This is what the description looks like in all my videos. You're going to hit more here. And again, I recommend you guys do get the updated scripts. But if you want to try out some of the free ones, they're going to be right here. You guys can see the free scripts download. All you're going to do is right click on this. And you're going to have to go ahead and sign up over here. Just literally hit download here. It'll make you go ahead and make an account. But once you're signed in, here's what that page looks like. All right, you guys can see this is what it'll look like. All you need to do once you guys are in here to download some free scripts is just right click on your name and then click on the products tab. All right, once you guys are here, you're just going to have the free scripts section unless you got the updated scripts, the paid ones. But again, click on the free scripts. That's what we're going to download right now. And one of the best free and easy script to use right now is going to be the Falcon 4.1 or the Fox version 1. I say go ahead and use the Fox. So all you do to download the script is right click on this, right? And look at the same thing as the Zen Studios. If you just right click on it, it's literally just going to go into your downloads tab. That's literally how easy it is, all right? So now we're going to go ahead and add the script to the Zen. To do that, all you want to do is just go ahead and hit cancel on the Zen Studios. We'll open it up again, all right? So now all you want to do is open up the Zen Studios. And when you guys are trying to add scripts onto your Zen, let me go ahead and make myself a little bit bigger so you guys can see me, all right? You have to plug the Zen in only on the right-hand side, okay? When you're adding scripts only on the right-hand side, here's what that looks like, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and make myself a little bit bigger here. And look, this is what I mean by only on the right-hand side. When you're adding scripts and on the Zen Studios itself, you just plug it in on the right-hand side. You guys can see this is the right-hand side. And now if I go back to my desktop, again, if it doesn't load in sometimes, that's fine. Just hit cancel, open up the Zen Studios one more time, and look, it'll connect, right? But again, when you're adding scripts, make sure it's only plugged in on this right-hand side, all right? Once we're in here, here's how you add the script. You want to go to your compilers tab. Then you're going to go to the top left-hand side, press File, go ahead and press Open. Next, you want to go into your download section, and you'll see the Fox version 1. It's literally that easy. Then just go ahead and right-click on this, go ahead and press Open. You'll see it in here like this. Next step, go over to the Programmers tab, and then wait for this thing to flash loading in. You get to add the brand new script. You go on to the left-hand side, follow my mouse cursor here, all right? You're going to press the 6 0 lines that says GPC scripts. And now you guys can see the Fox version 1 up here. To drag it down, you just right click and drag and drop, all right? Make sure it's in your first slot. Again, it'll be pitch black like this, but that's how easy it is, all right? Once that's done, you want to make sure you finish it off by pressing this play button to go ahead and program, aka save the script, all right? You just went ahead and learned how to update your Zen and download a script in under 5 to 6 minutes. That's how easy it is, all right? And now to turn on the script, all you do once you get into your game, which is what I'm going to show you guys next, is you just press the right side big blue button, all right? But for right now, make sure on the Zen screen, it just says Zen, all right? Now, to set up the Cronus Zen on your PC, while you guys still have it plugged in only on the right-hand side, next thing you guys want to do when you're in your Zen Studios is head over into the Device tab, all right? Once you guys are here, I don't care if you're going to be using the PlayStation 5 controller with your Cronus Zen and or the Xbox controller, but this next step must be done exactly the same way, all right? And that's going to be right down here where it says Output Protocol. Make sure if you guys are playing on PC with your Zen, you want to make sure this is on PlayStation 5, all right? Once that is true, next thing you guys want to do is go ahead and give the Zen also power from the top, all right? Again, right now, still leave it plugged in on the side, and then go ahead and plug the Zen in at the top, all right? The first setup that we're going to talk about is going to be for our PlayStation 5 controller, right? If you guys are going to be using your PlayStation 5 controller with the Zen on the PC, all you have to do next is simply wire up your controller and plug it in on this left-hand side, all right? So again, if the Zen is facing you, it's just going to go ahead on this left-hand side. So again, if I do the full face cam, you guys can see right over here, all right? So all I'm going to do is go ahead, let me go ahead and grab my wires over here. There's tons of them right now. So you guys can see, I'll go ahead and plug it in, right? So you plug that end in there, right? And then the USB-C end is going to go into my controller. Now, what you want to pay attention to is once you plug in your controller, you should notice in the Zen Studios, right? You guys can see I have it plugged in. Look, if the joypad and the consoles don't show your controller, that means it's not working, okay? So if that happens, next thing you want to do is pick up your Zen, okay? And on the back of the Zen, there's a little blue button right here, right? The one we use to go ahead and update. But all you want to do right now, again, if you don't see your PS5 controller in the joypad or the console section, you're just going to go ahead and quick press this little blue button one time, all right? So here's what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and quick press it one time. It's going to go ahead and reset the Zen, right? So you can see it reset the Zen, and now we can see our controllers here. And one more quick test I like to do to make sure my controller is working is go up into this Tools tab here. Go down here where it says Device Monitor, right? And then I'm just going to go ahead and leave the Zen plugged in, just like that. Pick up my controller and just press your aim and your shoot button, right? You can see both the buttons show up in your input and your output every time I press, right? You can see if I hold it, it lights up blue. That's how you know your controller is working. And now, final step before you start up your game or any script, make sure you unplug the Zen from the right-hand side, okay? So this right side cable now gets unplugged, and now you guys are ready to game with your PlayStation 5 controller on your PC. All right, Xbox controller, I'm going to use my Elite Series 2 in this video. What you have to do, again, make sure your Zen's plugged in on the right-hand side. Go down here where it says Output Protocol, make sure it's on PlayStation 5, all right? Once it is, go ahead and grab another cable. Again, the other end of this cable is going to go into your PC that you're using. And again, just plug it in at the top as well, all right? So you can see now we have both the cables plugged in. Both of these other end of the cable are going into our PC, okay? Now, when you connect your Xbox controller, it must go on the bottom left-hand side right over here, okay? So if I make it the full face cam, you guys can see this is what the Zen looks like. It's going to go on the bottom left side right over here, okay? So all I'm going to do is go ahead and grab my wires. Where'd my wires go? Oh, they're on the ground. Let me go ahead and pick them up so you guys can see, right? This is what I mean by the bottom left, okay? So if the Zen is facing you, it's going to go right here. You guys can see. Bang. So you guys can see me plug it in. So that's where your controller needs to be. The USB end, right? I'm going to grab the USB-C end and show you guys me plugging it in. There we go, right? You guys can see that. Now, once that step is done, you guys want to head over back to your desktop and you can see, right? On the Zen Studios, it should show your device right here where it says joypad. That's fine that it shows up as a PlayStation 5 controller. But even on the Zen itself, you'll notice on this side right over here, there's going to be a green light, okay? That's going to indicate the controller is working. If for whatever reason in your joypad, in your console section, this is not showing, all you have to do is flip over your Zen. There's a little blue button on the back, right? You're going to go ahead and press this just one time. This little blue button right here. Just go ahead and press it one time. That's basically going to go ahead and reset your Zen. You can see mine's resetting. Give it a second. Sometimes it takes a little bit. It might even exit out the Zen Studios. But open up the Zen Studios, head over back to device, and you should notice your controller here, okay? And again, this is our Xbox controller. We can see it right here, okay? And one last thing I like to do, make sure controller is working, go over to Tools, up here, go over into your device monitor, and then just hold your aim button, and you can see it shows up just like it should, okay? And final step before you go ahead and turn on a script or turn on a game is make sure you always unplug the right side cable if you're playing on your PC, right? So you can see this right side cable, unplug it, okay? Now you guys are ready to go. You can go ahead and turn on a script and launch open your game on your PC. Here's how to set up your Cronus Zen for your Xbox. First step, go ahead and plug your Cronus Zen in only on the right-hand side, and then open up your laptop or your PC, whatever has the Zen Studio software downloaded. Once you guys are here, open up the Zen Studios. Once it opens up, go over here to the Device tab. Next, you want to come down here where it says Output Protocol and go ahead and select whatever Xbox you're using. So for me, it's going to be 1X/1S. Once you guys have done that, unplug from the right-hand side. Next, here's how you plug your Cronus Zen to the Xbox. Make sure the short cable here goes straight into your Xbox. Left side's where your controller is going to be, but make sure you don't turn on the Xbox from your controller. Never press this button to turn it on. You have to go ahead and manually turn on your system. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You guys can see. After your system is fully turned on, that's when you guys go ahead and press this Xbox controller button to power up the controller. You know everything's working when you can see the green light here where our controller is plugged in. And now it has been on for a little bit, so I'm going to turn on my Xbox button. It's going to blink, and then it should turn solid just like this. Now, here's how you connect the Cronus Zen to your PlayStation 5. Before you go ahead and unplug the Zen from the right-hand side and unplug it from your laptop or your PC, you want to make sure you guys go into the Zen Studios, right where we are at here. Go over to this device tab up here, all right? And you have to make sure your output protocol down here is set to PlayStation 5, all right? And final thing I want you guys to make sure while your Zen is still plugged in on this right-hand side is just go ahead and press this right side big blue button and make sure it just says Zen on your screen, okay? So make sure it says Zen and leave it there just like this for about 3 to 5 seconds minimum. And then now go ahead and unplug the Zen from your laptop or your PC, all right? You don't need it plugged in while you're playing. So you can go ahead and get rid of the right side cable. And now we're gonna go over to my PS5. Now, here's how you connect your Cronus Zen to your PlayStation 5. The first thing you wanna do is make sure you just leave your Cronus Zen to the side, all right? First step, and again, it doesn't matter, the bypass step is going to be the same if you're using a regular DualSense Edge controller or your DualSense Edge. But first, let's go ahead and use the regular DualSense Edge, okay? What you want to do is go ahead and just wirelessly pair your controller and then just log into your profile, all right? Once you guys have wirelessly paired your controller like I have, go into your settings tab, and what we're going to need to do is go down here where it says accessories, and you guys want to go ahead and press X, okay? So once you're in here, you're going to go down to controller in general, and you want to make sure everything that you see on my screen right now is the same for you, all right? Especially this one right here where it says communication method. Make sure this is set to use USB cable, okay? You guys can see how mine is. That's what you have to do. Just press X on communication method. Make sure you set it to use USB cable, all right? And again, look, my controller is wirelessly paired to my PlayStation 5, okay? That's how yours should be right now, all right? Next step, you want to go up to general, okay? Now, all you want to do is go over here and then just hover over turn off accessories, right? You guys can see how my little thing is just kind of hovering over turn off accessories. That's what you want, right? Now we're going to get into the process of plugging up the Zen. And step number 1 is using your controller wired to the Zen, all right? And here's how you wire it. You want to plug in your USB end onto this left-hand side. So if it's facing you, it's going to be right here, all right? So here's what that looks like. Let me go ahead and give you guys a full face cam while I do this. You guys can see. Plug it in on the left-hand side, okay? So if it's facing your face, this is where the USB will be. Now the other end of the cable, which should be a USB-C, it's simply going to plug into whatever controller you're using. For right now, we're just going to use a normal DualSense PS5, right? You guys can see. Now, once that is plugged in, right, you guys can see, you still want to make sure you hover it over turn off accessories. And now is where you're going to go ahead and plug in the Zen and give it power from the top, all right? Now, when you do this step, I highly recommend you guys go ahead and use good cables, all right? What I mean by that, certain ones that come with the Zen have this little black lock right here, right? Make sure you use these ones, all right? There's going to be longer ones, but the USB side right here, that's going to go into your PlayStation, okay? Doesn't matter if it's the front or the back of your PS5, that's where this cable will go, the USB normal end. The USB-C end is going to go at the top of the Zen, just like this, all right? But first, always make sure you plug in this USB side into your PS5 first, okay? So just plug this end into your PS5, front or the back, doesn't matter. Now, I'm personally using my own cables, right? I use these red ones that I bought off of Amazon. You guys can see back in 2020, all right? They're the J-Bucks ones. They're my favorite ones. I'll leave you guys a link if you want to buy them. You can see this one right here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to give the Zen power from the top, right? Now, again, do not plug it in fully. Just get it in position. You guys can see it's in position. It's not plugged in. There's no power to the Zen, right? What you need to do next is hold down right on the D-pad right here, okay? So you guys can see the right side D-pad button right here. You're going to hold it down the whole time, even after you give the Zen power from the top, okay? So let me just go ahead and make myself a little bit bigger so you guys can see everything, right? There you go. Just made myself a lot bigger. And look, all you're going to do, pick up your controller. You guys can see it's wired to the Zen. Everything's ready. Hold down right on the D-pad. And then go ahead and give the Zen power from the top. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this cable in fully. And what you want to make sure, it says Zen on here. And look, I'm holding down right on the D-pad, right? And again, keep it held. You guys can see it did that little button spams thing. Now you guys are ready to use it. And again, you have to do this step every single time you guys turn on your PlayStation 5, right? It's so simple. You literally just go into settings, click on accessories, go to general, and then just hover over turn off accessories and do that step again, all right? Now, here's how you do the button spam bypass if you're using the DualSense Edge. Okay, it's going to be the same way. What you really want to make sure is when you did the bypass step, there were no scripts active. Okay, make sure on the Zen screen it just says Zen. But now to do it with the DualSense Edge, I'm just going to unplug it from the top. Okay, let me just go ahead and get rid of this regular DualSense controller. And same process, right? If you guys are using the DualSense Edge on your PlayStation 5, first you got to go ahead and wirelessly pair it to your PS5. You guys can see my controller is wirelessly paired, right? Now, the next thing you want to do is go into your settings where I'm at right now in PlayStation. Scroll down to accessories. Go over here where it says DualSense Edge Wireless. You guys can see it right here, right? Go up to control in general. And same thing, make sure your communication method. This is the most important part, right? Even if you're using the DualSense Edge, make sure it's set to use USB cable. Once it is, you're just going to do that button spam step again, all right? To do the PS5 button spam step, you go to General, and then same thing, just hover over Turn Off Accessories, okay? And now let's go ahead and wire up our controller to the Zen, right? So the USB-N on the left-hand side, just like this, right? Normal USB-C is going to go into my controller. Let me go ahead and grab that. There we go. You guys can see into my controller. And then final step is holding down right on the D-pad and then giving the Zen power, right? All I'm going to do is go ahead and grab my cables and look at this, right? You guys can see getting ready to give power, but again, I haven't fully plugged it in. Let me go ahead and pick up my controller and look, just hold down right on the D-pad right here, okay? So you just hold it down the whole time and then get ready to give the Zen power. So you guys can see, I'm going to go ahead and give the Zen power. It says Zen on the screen. And look, keep right on the D-pad held the whole time. And look, you guys can see it did the button spam step. Now you can let it go. And now you can go ahead and turn on your script. That's how easy it is to set up the Cronus Zen on your PlayStation 5. Doesn't matter what controller to use, the bypass step's the same. You got to do it every single time you turn on the PS5.